Hello, everyone. This is Darren McBride. I'm one of your co-learning chairs for 21-22 for Reno, Tahoe EO. And along with Laura Partridge, we've put together a learning calendar. I want to kind of go through some of the events we know about now, which is really most of what we're doing for 21-22. I'm going to start out with Global's virtual powerhouse events. So coming up really quickly now, July 13th is Jay Shetty. He's a former monk and New York Times bestselling author. Now, these powerhouse events, you have to register with Global, the EO Powerhouse link that you see on the screen there, powerhouse.thinkific.com, pages register. These end up being 7 a.m. our time. So I think there'll be good virtual learning events for a breakfast. We're not going to have time to put together a breakfast for the July 13th event, but we're going to try and find some place where we can all get together and watch these virtual events. In the meantime, if you're interested in Jay Shetty, I suggest that you register for that and just get up a little early and watch that as a virtual event. It should be really interesting. So that's our first event. The first in-person event will actually be our Family Day party. We do this every summer. We have a family day where you can bring the kids and wife, and so it gives a chance for some of the spouses to see what EO is all about and to just kind of kick it for the afternoon. Laura Partridge, my co-learning chair, has been generous enough to offer up her home. She has a pool, and the event is set for 2 to 7. We were going to do a hike and a scavenger hunt, but felt that that was just too much. So this is really just show up. We're going to have a Starkey's food truck there. The address is 3785 Boulder Patch Road. You can see you go up Mount Rose Highway and hang a ride on Thomas Creek Road. Laura has said that her gate code is 9850. There's a gate to kind of get into the community there on Boulder Patch Road. Hopefully you can see that on the screen. Should be a good time. At least show up and let the kids kind of take a dip in the pool, and we're going to have a DJ. So it's actually a very well put together party. I think you'll have fun with it. Next up is a virtual event. So you might ask, why are we doing a virtual event in August? August is kind of tough. People are on vacation, a lot of people not around. The EOA coach company, Positive Adventures, had already put this event together as one of the things they were doing during COVID. We decided to make this more interesting. So there's a competition, and we're going to go out and buy an Apple iPad Air, and whichever family wins the competition wins the iPad Air. So hopefully that'll make it interesting enough for you guys to join and have your family help you get bragging rights on this virtual scavenger hunt competition. It'll be some fun. If you're around August 17th, please join us for that. Next event is again a 7 a.m. virtual event, same powerhouse speaker series. Trevor Noah, the comedian, you've seen him on TV. Should be really good. This is a private talk for EO. Chance to ask him questions and so forth. So then we roll into September, and we're going to do the all-member retreat in September. Now, you might wonder about this. EO normally does an all-member retreat sometime in the spring time frame, usually about May, but COVID has canceled that. So our incoming president, Mike Bosma, has talked to Catherine Hoke, who is normally known for her talks about prison reform and prison programs for entrepreneurship, but she's going to be our leader and inspirational speaker for the all-member retreat. So this all-member retreat is kind of a half day on Monday and a half day on a Tuesday. And we'll start at 1 o'clock, September 21st. And we'll go up to Tahoe Vista, do some paddleboarding and kayaking, kind of a bonding time. And then in the evening, we check into the venue, which is Cedar House Sport Hotel in Tahoe. We've secured the entire facility. Everybody's got rooms. Everybody who registers will have a room paid for so that you can join us for an evening and enjoy drinks. And Cat Hoke will speak and then the next morning we've got some optional yoga and a breakfast, and then an outdoor event at North Tahoe Regional Event, which is hosted and led by Tahoe Adventures. So they're planning that whole thing out. To end the event, we are going to end at 12:30 with an optional no-host lunch at Garwood's. So you kind of pay your own freight for that piece of it if you want to attend. But we're already up there; might as well have a nice lunch. So that's the, we do ask that if at all possible you attend the all-member retreat. It's the only chance for people from one forum to meet the people from other forums and to really get to know one another. And so we kind of try to make it as required as we can. We know that not everybody is going to be in town, but if you can attend that, please do so. It's important. Next virtual learning event is a Powerhouse series. You may recognize the name Jane Goodall as one of the world's foremost experts on chimpanzees. I think she's also an environmental messenger and a conservationist. So that is, again, 7 a.m. our time. We're hoping by this time we'll find a nice breakfast location, or maybe one of our sponsors has a meeting room where we can all watch virtually together and cater in breakfast. So if we do that, stay tuned for your email and we'll let you know. Alchemy. Alchemy, if you're not experienced with this, is one of the global/regional events. This is a West Coast regional, so all EO members all over the West Coast are invited in. If you've never been to an event like this is in our own backyard. This is being hosted up at the Hyatt Lake Tahoe. Kyle McClellan and Betty Scott have really spent a lot of time putting together a great speaker list. This is midweek. It's October 12th, 13th, 14th primarily, and of course, since it ends late on the 14th, kind of means that the 15th is left for rolling out. We encourage you to get a room at the Hyatt so you can stay with the rest of the EO members from all over the West Coast and sort of have some drinks and enjoy your time with them. And that agenda is very full. I don't know if you'll be able to see this agenda on the video recording, but the events start in the morning on Tuesday. There's a very full schedule of a combination of nature events like hiking, biking, and then really great speakers. And this agenda, if you haven't seen it before, is available on the EO website as well, so you can kind of get an idea of who is going to be speaking. But really, the global and regional events are an opportunity to meet people entrepreneurs from all over the West Coast. Some of them are going to be in your same line of business, some in others. It's not to be missed. Our November event is a sales event. Tanya Chernova is a speaker that talks about the neuroscience of sales. She'll talk about deconstructing the sales process and the psychological drivers of sales. This would be a good reason for you to get one of your key executives in our key executive forum. We're going to invite members of the accelerator, the key executives, and any EO prospects to this event, because obviously sales is something that we all struggle with. It's going to be hosted at the Grafted Whiskey and Wine Bar, which is a brand new venue inside of Ranch Hera. So it'll give you a chance to see both a new venue and a great speaker. And if you can get your key executive in the key executive forum, then they will be invited to this event as well. And then, of course, we roll into December with our holiday party that's going to be on December 4th. We've booked out the entire Toyabe Golf Club, which is in Washoe Valley. And Laura and I have put together a kind of a secret band. We're not going to announce yet exactly who that is, but it's going to be some fun, dancing, and great food. The Toyabe is putting together some great stuff, and I might even come in with an appetizer of my own just to kind of mix things up a little bit. So that'll be a lot of fun. This is an event that was booked last year, before COVID. The award-winning poet In-Q, who wrote the book Inquire Within, and most of you would have gotten a copy of Inquire Within in the mail last year as part of this event. If you didn't get a copy of the book, we still have some copies. So you want to ask the chapter administrator to get that so that you can get a sense of what In-Q talks about. This is a joint event where we're going to actually allow paid members of the Nevada Museum of Art to participate with us. We will have a private reception in the founders room, and then we'll roll out, and In-Q will actually have a wider audience with the Nevada Museum of Art members, so we can mingle with them and also listen to what In-Q has to say, and that should be great. The Sex with Dr. Jess is our February event, and Dr. Jess is a Toronto-based sexologist, a PhD, an author, and this is all about reconnecting with your significant other. So, the intention is that you bring your significant other. It's a conversation about intimate relationships and busy lifestyles. And I made a comment here, hey, why not book a couples massage at the Atlantis before the event. Just an idea. We roll into an event we've held several years in a row. Snow EO, Tilio Legata and Betty Scott have agreed to be our host for that. This date is a little tentative. We actually haven't pinned down the resort at Squaw Creek for these dates just yet, but we wanted to put a stake in the ground for those people who are skiers. My intention here is that we will invite Sacramento, San Francisco, other West Coast chapters. So if you're a skier and you want to meet some other EO members, this should be always, every year, this is a great event. Get outside and meet some great speakers. Brad Stevens is an EO member who specializes in outsourcing to virtual assistants, and he's actually helping us with our virtual assistant chapter administrator. So we're going to have some direct experience with this. We would like to host this at Nevada, the National Auto Museum. We haven't completely pinned down that venue, but we have pinned down the date, March 22nd. And if you're at all interested in having virtual employees, Brad's the guy that knows about that. We highly recommend you attend March 22nd, which is a Tuesday night. That happens to be a fourth Tuesday. We're trying to do third Tuesdays for most events, but this one worked out on March 22nd. Another event that got canceled during COVID time that's highly, highly rated all over the West Coast is called the Blind Cafe. So imagine having a room that is so dark you can't see the hand in front of your face, and you're going to eat dinner in there. And you have blind ambassadors that guide you. They'll also entertain us with music and stories. And this is going to be April 19th at the Atlantis Casino Resort. We're going to darken a room. We've invited a group called Reno Tech Founders from EDON. So there'll probably be 20 to 25 members of EDON who have founded tech companies. It'll be a good chance for EOers to meet those folks and round out the audience so we have a little bit bigger audience as well. Amy Allen is our incoming president-elect for 21-22, and we're going to try and put the all-member retreat back where it belongs in May. So it seems like another retreat. Yeah, it's mainly because we're trying to get it back on the spring schedule. We'll plan for it to be just one day, and again, I highly encourage you to attend. So it's the only chance that the members in different forums often have a chance to meet one another. And then the next event, which is kind of our last event, is June 21st, and that is our Strategic Alliance Partner Dinner. All of the people who help pay the freight for these learning events are going to be there. We're going to try and make a very interesting venue where we do elevator pitches, but the twist is that the customers will do an elevator pitch. So if you, for example, are an EOer that does business with Umpqua Bank, the EOer will do the pitch for the bank, and it'll be a great dinner as well. So be food, fun, and a chance to learn what our sponsors are doing and what they can do for you in a non-advertising, non-pressure environment. I need to emphasize that. The only other thing that I want to mention is that we're going to try and continue to hold monthly lunch and learns. Some of those will be our strategic alliance partners. Some of those will be EO members. Some of them will be just topics that we think you might be interested in, and Mike Bosma is really working on those. So try to keep your fourth Tuesday open for lunch, and there'll be more announcements on those. That's it. I'm glad you tuned in and listened this far. Join us for these great events in 21-22.